Alright guys, this is a review on the wasr 10, the Romanian, a Century Arms. A lot of people talk a lot of crap about the wasr, how it's unreliable, and this, that, and the other. Most of them, I've never had one that didn't work, or seen one that didn't work. Or had a friend that had one, you know what I'm saying? I have friends that have wasrs. Most of my friends, they're not really gun people, like gun enthusiasts, except for the older people. Some of them got AKs, you know, and they couldn't tell an AK from SKS half the time. You know, they like guns, but as most people are, they're not really real knowledgeable on the operations and this, that, and the other of them. Anyway, when I bought this rifle, when it comes to AK-47s, was in the same boat. It was right after I always wanted one. My dad had them. I was never told brand names, this, that, and the other. I just knew AK-47s. I assumed at the time that just different countries produced them and they was all pretty good. I didn't really know about the 922Rs and all that other stuff about Century Arms, you know. It just seemed like good AK-47s. Well, at the time, it was right at the Obama price gouge, and to find an AK under $650 was, in my area, my state, Kentucky, was pretty much impossible. I went through every place. I looked at all different kinds of AKs, and when I thought about buying an AK, they was about 700 bucks, you know, even for Century Arms. And I was kind of figured in my price range at the time, with just getting into buying a lot of guns, because it was right after I hit 21, that was pretty much the only affordability. So I started looking around into that just to give me an AK-47. And you know, Century Arms was almost Arsenal prices. They are now, as of 2011, summer 2011 in my area. Anyway, well, I came up on a place, and they had AK-47s for like 350 bucks, 400, and they was going quick. And I talked to one of the guys who was pretty. I've talked to him since then, and he said they just bought a shitload of them, and they don't really like AKs. They're a tactical place, and the guys, even when you talk to them, they'll try to steer you away from buying AK-47s. They're pretty much gun snobs, and they just really harp on it. They talk about they aren't accurate, this, that, and the other, which is not true. If you shot an AK-47, you know 200 yards is, you know what I'm saying, it's a done deal. But anyway, I came across this gun for 350 bucks. Most of them was going for about 400. It just didn't have a flat muzzle brake on the front, which if you're going to shoot semi-automatic, AK-47s really don't kick. It isn't a real big deal because muzzle brakes don't help out a huge difference. If you're shooting automatic, I'm sure they do. But it just didn't, it's not a big deal. I mean, if you want to, you can always put one on. So most of the time they have caps on the end of them. They're welded on, but you can have that. You can break the weld and replace it. As long as it's American, you should be able to change it to be 922R compliant. Matter of fact, if it'll add a piece on the front, you know, that you can count as American if you buy American. Anyway, but when I bought this gun, I really didn't know nothing about it. I was up there. I had like 150 on me at the time. So I made sure so I didn't lose it, because even when I bought this, you could go to a gun shop 2 miles up the road and buy the exact same AK for double the price. And the place was packed. It was on a weekend. People was just buying them up. So I threw it on layaway. I came back and got it the next day, but that's all the cash I had on me. And anyway, I went home and I started doing my research on it, you know, Century Arms, because it was a real spur of the moment deal. And I started hearing all this bad shit about it. And normally, even at the time, I done bought a few guns, got a few lemons. I normally did my research on them, Well, I started hearing all this shit, dude. I got sick to my stomach, you know, because I done put 150 on. I was gonna get it and take my chances. And heard about canted sights, bent gas tubes, magazine wobble. You know, man, I was almost sick to my stomach. Figured I just wasted the money, you know. I was done pretty much thought I was going to buy it and sell it again, you know, just to keep from blowing up. But I did a lot of research on it. I mean, probably the whole night. Got home, did all the reviews, went and bought it, checked it out after I bought it, and mine, I guess I got lucky. It didn't have any canted sights. Matter of fact, it's extremely accurate. As the AK47 goes, I don't see how the way this one shoots, AKs really can't get much better. I mean, I guess I just got extremely lucky. But you can do your research, and the newer wasrs are better built. I heard they're I think they're called G somethings. But anyway, I can't think off the top of my head. I forgot. I didn't research. It's been a few years since I bought this. But they way they're made is they're put together in the United States off of old receivers, and it was made, and the receivers were made or shipped to America during the '94 ban. So they was designed for 10-round single stack magazines. So they milled out the you see it's not got the dimple right there on the magazine port. They was milled out for a single stack, so they're not really the flushest fitting magazine ports. They kind of wobble a little bit, but the Tapco mags, mine doesn't really wobble because the Tapco mags are so thick. I'm guessing you could check that out or whatever if your place allows it. Anyway, main things I would say is for accuracy, check the sight. You know, can't the sight. I never had to. I'm sure you could fix the sight if you needed to. Just like anything, I know the elevation. You can buy a tool that pushes it from side to side. But if your front sight's clearly canted, I would stay away from it. The elevation is just like an AK-47. If you don't know, it just twists out. And for up and down for elevation, it's like a screw with a point. It's just a point on it. Check your gas tube. And one of the main beefs I have about the wasr 10 is no AK-47 has a bolt hole open. You know, last round or what have you. And whenever I went up to the gun place, a lot of them right there, see where the little line is, if you can see it right there where it gets wider on the bolt. They like to hang up. That's where the bolt rides on the hammer. Now, the AK is an amazing gun. There's no other gun that holds up even close to it, affords to tolerance, reliability, and just being able to take shit. I mean, there's no other gun even close to it. I'm not gonna get into the shit I've seen, but I've seen them. They're tough ass guns, and if it gets stuck on right there as you're charging the handle, really you should pull back and charge. But to test for functionability, for if it's going to be a reliable gun, for reliability, the main thing you should check out is to see if the charging handle gets kind of stuck in the middle. I would slowly check it, even though it's not the proper way, just to make sure you're not going to have any issues. And if you let it go, you know, pull back at like half speed, and if it functions every time on half speed, then it's going to be going at full speed every time, and it's going to work, you know. And do it as slow as possible. And if it gets stuck there, you know, and you have to really, if you tap it a little bit and it goes, you're good. If you have to really thwack the side of it to get it to go, I would stay away from that one, because normally when they got wasrs, they have quite a few. They have at least like 5 or 6. Choose which one you want. Another reliability issue is drums. I've shot plenty of drums through AKs my whole life, and they're everybody pretty much shoots on those or shot a lot of ammo through them. Those they're not 100% reliable. Every drum gun has problems. I mean, at least 80 times more than your magazines if you're comparing, because drums ain't cheap. And compared to magazines, where if you're buying high quality magazines, which ain't even a problem if you're going to spend at least $100 for, or $75 for a drum, you know, Betamags, you know, you'll pay half as much for a Betamag as you will a gun, and they're not reliable like that. Every drum has got its problem for some time or another. You might get a perfect one, but it's rare. Anyway, that is some of the main things you should check about a wasr 10. Sorry about running on too long, but as of now, you know, you're going to pay about $400. You can get an Arsenal for more, but at the time it was kind of crazy. They're good guns. Reliability on them's great. I've never had a friend that said theirs just didn't work. I've seen some people on YouTube have problems. They're pretty much the bottom of the barrel when it comes to AK-47s, but it's still an AK. It'll fire every time, and reliability beats. That's the number one thing I look for in any gun: reliability and accuracy. And 200 yards is a pretty long shot. 400 yards, you shouldn't really have to engage somebody with that. If you're in a good run, you have to be one hell of a shot to hit someone in a good run at 400 yards. They should be able to find cover. So 200 yards is your, I would say 200-300 at least is your minimum distance for engaging somebody. That's all you need. Thanks, guys.